So now that we have the pallet loaded, you can see you actually have a double stacked pallet. So I want to point out a couple cool features on this machine that'll enable you to wrap this the best way possible. One is going to be reinforcement height. So I'm going to set specific wrapping going right around where the double pallet is. In addition to the bottom and top wraps, I'm going to have this area wrapped. Also, because you can see this could be pretty sharp, I'm going to set variable tension up on this. So when I start at the bottom and going all the way up, I'm going to keep it at a lower tension so we kind of get some coverage on here. And then on the way back down, I'm going to tighten it up. So that way you can get a nice tight wrap without tearing the film at all. Let's take a look. So first thing we want to do is go to program 1. That's the one I want to be in. Then we're going to scroll down to get to the main menu. And I want to go to manual controls, because I want to do is jog up and bring this carriage up so I can know what height I want to have the reinforcement wraps. So I'm going to bring it up a little bit into where I can see it's level with those two pallets. So about right there is where I want it. Now I want to know what height that's at. So I'm going to go back. I'm going to go down to current values. Click OK. Now I'm going to try and find where we would have the carriage height. So carriage height. So right now it's at 61 centimeters. So I'm going to escape back. I'm going to go up to cycle parameters. Okay. And then I'm going to keep the bottom wraps the same, top wraps the same. I'm going to set the variable tension up here as well because of the pallets being there. So I'm going to set this to 0. So by setting this to 0, it's going to start reading the next ones. So C5, bottom wrap tension. So I want to go low on the bottom. I'm going to go like 25%. Because I don't want it to tear at all. Ascent, I'm going to go to 25 as well. Okay. Top wraps, I can keep it at 50 because it's going to be past those pallets. Descent tension, I'm going to keep it at 50 as well. I'm going to skip rotation speed. Ascent speed, I'm going to keep the same. Descent speed, I'm actually going to slow that down because I want that tight tension to get more of that pallet, especially on the way back down where those double pallets are. So I'm going to go to 40. Then I'm going to go over to, skip this, reinforcement height. So remember we had 61. I'm going to click OK. I'm going to set it to 61 centimeters. Hit OK. And then I want to do 2 turns there. So I go to reinforcement turns, change it to 2, hit OK. And that'll be all I want to do. So I'm going to go escape. I'm going to actually save this as pallet number 3. So save user program, because I still want to keep 1 how I had it. So I'm going to save it as pallet number 3, hit OK, escape. Now if I go to 3, it's going to be all those changes I just made. So let's go and wrap this pallet and see what we got. Before we start, I'm going to hit reset so I can get the carriage down to the bottom position, because we had brought it up to check what the height would be. And then I'm going to attach the film over here. I'm actually attaching it towards the front. The reason why is you can see how this is indented in the pallet. I want to get a better wrap with the product to the pallet. So I'm going to attach this here, and then we can start the cycle. So you can see the tension, it's pretty loose. We had it at 25. It's going to be loose all the way till we get to the very top, because we don't want this to break on these sharp edges. And notice right now we're at the reinforcement height, so it's getting that pallet really good. So it's doing a couple turns here, and then it's going to raise up. So we still have the lower 25 tension. Now once we get to the very top, it's going to do 1 spin around, and it should be tightened up. So now it's a lot tighter. See that? You can actually see the thinner. And notice as we're going down, we had it set at 40. on the descent speed instead of 80, so it's a lot slower. So that way we have that tight tension going more around the pallet. All right, so it looks like we have a success here. We use the variable tension, the reinforcement height, and also the slower descent speed on the carriage to get a good wrap on this pallet. We didn't tear any film around these edges, and it's looking nice and tight.